Alright guys, I want to welcome you to this evening's update, and this is more to look over stuff where the monthly averages for months going forward in the hurricane season, and we're going to get to my final predictions as well, so we all get to look forward to that, right? Now the reason I'm doing my final predictions right now is because NOAA is coming out with their predictions tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and that is going to be a video discussion for tomorrow at 12 or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm going to go over the NOAA's prediction numbers and look at all the other predictions for the other companies that have made predictions for this hurricane season. So get to look forward to that. Anyways, before we get started with looking at the monthly means and stuff, I just want to talk about what's going on here in the wide open world of the Atlantic and the U.S. eastern coast. As you can see, here's the low that's rotating over the Tennessee Valley. That's bringing tremendous amounts of rain to North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and everywhere else that you see cloud cover is most likely getting rain. This is so slow to move out. I don't know when it's going to move out, but eventually it is going to move out. As you can see, it's growing a tail right here, and some of this convection will probably make it into the Gulf of Mexico, but I do not think that we have to worry about any of that forming. So with that, here is the remnants of Arthur. I think this is kind of cool because it's connected to two fronts now, essentially. It's connected to the Tennessee Valley low, and this front that's extended way out here near the Azores. So that I find that pretty neat. And just and the reason no tropical development is going to be expected here within the next week is look at this wind shear. Like it's everywhere. It's going this way, it's going this way, and you know that's just not good for tropical development. But what could happen is something could form in the Gulf of Mexico, because I don't see very much wind shear in there, and you can tell where the wind shear is just by the cloud movements. And here is that tropical wave that everybody's been talking about, but I'll talk about that later here in a few minutes. I want to point out to this tropical wave right here. Now, it's not often that you see something this good rolling off of Africa before May, before May's end, anyways. And it's too early for this to form into anything. I just think it'll be it'll be a help to cause some more precipitation in this area right here. That could help other storms form from that moisture that this tropical wave will probably bring. And now this one right here is being sheared all apart. It's going this way because the winds are coming out from south to southwest, and it's causing the clouds to go to the northeast. So obviously you don't have to worry about this forming into anything. But what you do need to worry about is this tropical wave coming over all the way over here to help set up a Central American gyre, which Central American gyres are pretty much just rotation in the atmosphere to help build thunderstorm activity in the Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic. Now, I don't think it's going to help with anything in the Eastern Pacific, but I do believe it's going to help with something in the Atlantic and the Caribbean here, which we will find out and see here in a few minutes. Because we're going to do something we don't normally do on this channel. We're about to go 10, 14 days out on the GFS and see what could happen. Keyword, could happen in the coming days. Alright, let's talk about precipitations for monthly anomalies. And as you can see, you know, going to June, July, August, we got some pretty good precipitation numbers here, especially here in the main development region, which seems about right because it starts getting this act together here in the main development region around the July, August time frame. But here in June, you got to worry about the Gulf the Southwest Atlantic and the Caribbean, because lo and behold, look at all the moisture that's around in that area. Now the GFS is pointing out towards something very interesting with this precipitation field. We will find that out here in a few minutes when we get to that point. But yeah, you can see that we have tons of precipitation just about everywhere where you think a tropical system would form. Now, I'm not saying that all the places are going to perform something and give us a storm out of it, but my main focus is right here and right here. That's this time of year. That's where the storms will form. Let's go out to September time frame, and as you can see, let's go back. As you can see, it expands quite a bit. The main development region gets a lot more precipitation, and so does the Gulf and Caribbean and the Southwest Atlantic. Now this is kind of worrying because we're above average for precipitation, I would assume, and this is just gonna exaggerate the situation. And you know, I know we got you know, this COVID-19 thing, but that'll be a discussion for another video. But hurricanes, and that is a scary thing to think about. We'll just leave it at that. We got all this moisture here. We got even more moisture popping up in the main development region here, and this is where the storms start really firing off of Africa. And this is the time of the year where we're really going to have to pay attention to the main development region for storms to form and push its way up towards the east coast if the high is strong enough, which most indications are, and the people that I pay attention to say that the highs are going to be strong this year. So all along the eastern coast, we're going to have to pay really close attention to this hurricane season, because anything can and will happen this year. If indications with Arthur is anything, and another storm that might be forming by the end of May, if that happens, then I'm really scared for this season. Let's take a look at October. As you can see, the main development region, it starts to move a little bit west for precipitation, and this blob of energy of precipitation moves east. So yeah, we're still going to be worrying about the Gulf of Mexico, but not as much as we did in earlier months. So October is a very infamous month for hurricanes. We got Matthew, we got Michael, and those came from around this area right here. Well, no, not Matthew. My bad. Michael came from this area right here, and Matthew came from this area right here. So as you can see, you know, it shows the same areas that those two storms formed, with above average precipitation for the months to come. So that's really worrying to me. Could we see a repeat? I don't know. Now when I say repeat, I'm not saying the same storms, obviously, because no two storms are alike, but I'm saying like a similar setup, you know? But we'll find out here in due course. Let's go to November, and now it's really connected. This is worrying for November, because you just got everything, all the precipitation fields connected to each other, and I just don't think that's a really good thing. And this is you would think that the precipitation wouldn't be here in November, but apparently it is. So that's why that's why I think this season will go on beyond November. I think we'll have a storm or two in December as well. And just to to see what happens with the precipitation in December. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go farther one more month here, and as you can see, the precipitation is still there. This is worrying, and we all got to pay attention to what's going on here. So I don't know where storms usually form in December, but I guess we're gonna find out this year, aren't we? All right, let's look at the wind shears for the next couple of weeks. And as you can tell, this is from the 17th, and as you can see, there's Arthur in that low wind shear. We're gonna go out through time. As you can see, the wind shear is pretty high all around the Atlantic, besides a few areas right here and right here, which is pretty interesting. And as we can go out through time, you can see it trying to crack away at that wind shear. Now here in a few days, when I get into a few days here in the GEFS, we're gonna see that wind shear really lower. And there you go, it's starting to lower just a little bit there in the Gulf and the Caribbean. There are some areas right in here, but that won't matter here too much. And there's our Central American gyre right there, setting up for us nicely with that low wind shear right in the middle. So that is what we got for wind shear. Now we're going to take a look at what correlates from all of this right now. As you can see, there is the remnants of Arthur right there. We're going to go throughout time here. As you can see, not too much moisture in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. But once we get towards the 25th, 26th, 27th, that's where the moisture really starts to dig in. And there it is, our Central American gyre right there, that low right there. And let's see what it goes. Let's go farther. Let's see what happens. And now what's this? 105? 105? We could possibly see our second tropical storm before June starts. That's amazing, guys. And we'll look at the reasons why here in a moment, why I feel like this hurricane season will be more busy than I anticipated. So let's go out through time. This is, as I said, we gotta take this with a grain of salt, people. This is a what could happen scenario, rather than this is going to happen. So please don't get me wrong on that. I'm not saying this is gonna happen. This is a what if. And as you can see, this system really takes off. It's 1,000 millibars. It's right over Cuba, and it's looking to aim right at the Florida coastline at this point in time. Let's go out in time farther. Look at that, 996. It's definitely bringing heavy rains and winds to the Florida Keys and the Miami area, southeast Florida. And as you see, it really starts to blow up. That is a bona fide hurricane, guys. 985. That is a bona fide Category 1 hurricane. And as we go through time, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then we got a Category 2. And then after that, it just really does some crazy stuff. Goes down as low as 946, but this is an extra post-tropical storm or hurricane, cyclone, whatever you want to call it. This is definitely post and extra tropical. As I said again, this is a what if scenario, a what could happen scenario. You gotta take this with a grain of salt, because a lot can change over the course of 2 weeks, and we're just gonna have to play this by ear. You know me, I'm gonna keep my eye on the radars and GFS models and the Euro models and the Icon models every single day to see if this verifies in the future. Now, before I get out of here, I want to take a look at my latest numbers. This is my final predictions after all. And this is why I think I should lower, or not lower, but higher the amount of activity that I originally posted a week and a half ago. So let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers. Alright, May 5th, 2020, this was my numbers. I had 22 named storms, 10 to 12 hurricanes, 4 to 7 major hurricanes, 4 to 6 US landfalls. Now, after looking at all the models and activity that's already promised, well, not promised, but already happened, and what could happen before the start of June, I think I had to up my numbers just a little bit. Now, I don't mean to be an alarmist or anything, you know. All you can do is prepare, and you should be alright. If you prepare and take all the steps necessary, you should be fine. But you know, as they say, you can rebuild a home, but you can't rebuild a life. That is true. I would rather have my life than to stay in my house and have it destroyed and me destroyed with it. So, you know, just keep that in mind, because homes can be rebuilt. Cities can be rebuilt, but lives cannot. So please keep that in mind. So let's go over my final predictions for this hurricane season. May 2020, I have 24 named storms, 11 to 13 hurricanes, 5 to 8 major hurricanes, and 4 to 9 US landfalls. Those are my final numbers, and I'm most likely going to be keeping with that unless something else changes drastically come, say, like June or July. Then this is my final numbers right here. This is you normally only need 22 letters to get into the Greek alphabet, but I'm saying we're gonna be getting into three letters in the Greek alphabet this year. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'll be back again tomorrow with Noah's predictions, and just have a nice night. Peace.